Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles the Banter, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic, debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we got another crazy show for you guys here today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, as you guys know, about, let me say, a week or so ago, we produced the show where we were reacting to the comments that Charles Barkley made as it pertained to LeBron James and the Lakers. As you guys know, the Lakers got eliminated in round one, and there were these quotes that were circulating around the internet. We reacted to it. A bunch of people reacted to it, where it said, Charles Barkley says LeBron James cannot, no, he says if LeBron James loses this series in 5 games, he's not a top 5 player. We did a show about it. We reacted to it. People like Gilbert Arenas reacted to it. And as a matter of fact, we're going to get to what Charles had to say about Gilbert Arenas a little bit later. Obviously, depending on the order in which you're watching today's shows. So we did all of that, right? And then yesterday, we produced some shows reacting to what Charles Barkley said about what it's going to be like for him to work at ESPN, right? We talked about that. He said they're essentially not going to bully him. He's not going to be up there twerking for LeBron and the Lakers and all of these guys. Fantastic. So this morning, I woke up, was doing some research, and I came across some quotes from Charles Barkley from the interview that he actually had on Outkick, where he spoke about working at ESPN. And apparently, those comments that we reacted to, that Gilbert Arenas reacted to, they actually were fake. That Charles Barkley actually never said that. And as a matter of fact, it turns out that not only did Charles never say that, but he then decided to double down on the reason why he has LeBron James as the 7th best player of all time behind Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. But before we even get into what Chuck had to say about his all-time rankings, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I am super excited about this Game 2 matchup between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for upfront. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So now what we want to do is want to play exactly what Charles Barkley had to say on Outkick about LeBron and where he ranks all time and his top 5. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Charles Barkley here.
You said LeBron, if they lose that series, shouldn't be considered a top 5 player. You sticking by that?
No, I never said that. First of all, I don't know where that came from.
No.
I've always said LeBron on my list. He's number 7 all time. I got Wilt, Kareem, Bill Russell, Michael and Oscar. I got Kobe 6 and LeBron 7. I've never said I saw fools talking about that. When I said fools, I'm talking like I saw Gilbert Arenas, who's an idiot, talking about, everybody's got a podcast trying to be important and significant. I've said LeBron is the 7th greatest basketball player in my opinion, and that's not like I'm saying he's the 20th, but I didn't care about that series. I thought they would win that series. I was actually kind of surprised. I didn't think they were contenders, but I didn't think they were going to win the championship.
You know, one of the reasons I turned down, and you talk about this all the time, when I was at ESPN, they offered me two different radio national shows. And I said, I don't want to talk about LeBron James every freaking day or Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers or all the bullshit you got to talk about. I don't want to do that every day. Now you're going to ESPN, and you've been critical of ESPN, particularly their coverage of the Lakers. What are your thoughts as this is your last season heading over?
Yeah, Dan, I'm not going to change. I'm going to do what I want to do. Nobody's going to tell me what to say or what to do. I thought I get upset. They're like the Lakers are contenders. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not contenders. Kendrick Perkins, who don't know his ass from a hole in the wall. He's like, the Lakers are contenders. Lakers are contenders, and I said they're not contenders. And clearly, if you lose in the first round, you're not a contender. But I'm not going to change my personality. Ain't nobody. They can't fire me. I make too much money to get fired.
Fantastic. So you heard what he had to say. Now, let me tell y'all something. This is going to piss off a lot of people. I can imagine people even listen to what Charles had to say already getting triggered. Because in their minds, it's like, you have LeBron ranked as the seventh best player of all time. Now, if Gilbert Arenas and these guys get a whiff of these comments, they absolutely going to go off. But the thing is this. It's his list. Did you also know that Charles has Kobe Bryant outside of his top 5? Are y'all aware of that? He has Kobe number 6. So what are we going to do? Start attacking him for having Kobe Bryant as the 6th greatest player? It's his list. Now, some people may take exception with the fact that there's such a huge gap between Michael Jordan and LeBron on his list. But I think what that's saying is that Charles truly believes that that gap exists. He also mentioned players like Wilt Chamberlain, who some people like and other people like. Some people have ranked highly and other people don't. But it's his list. Now, to LeBron fan, this is going to be, Charles is just a hater. He's just a hater. And I think that this is one of the reasons why it is going to be fireworks when he gets to ESPN. This is going to be one of the reasons for takes like this. The fact of the matter is, I can't think of anybody that works at ESPN that has had a take similar to Charles Barkley. I can't think of anybody that's on ESPN that has LeBron James number 5. It's almost like as if in order to get a job there, you got to say, hey man, LeBron is at the very least top 3 or top 2. Because if you think you're going to get a job at ESPN saying that LeBron is outside the top 5, there's no way you're going to get a job. Why? Because of the amount of narratives that these guys produce every single day. So when you have a guy like Charles Barkley on a panel with Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, and all of these guys up there honey slinging, and he comes out there and says, man, you guys are crazy. LeBron is not a top 2 behind Michael Jordan. He's number 7. It's going to be fireworks. And I think it's going to be it's going to make great TV. It's going to be great entertainment. Now, will the people at ESPN like that? I don't know. He's already made it clear, you guys heard in the soundbite, that if they try to pressure him into saying things he doesn't believe, he's going to quit. And if he quits, they're going to owe him 7 years worth of money. Now, in terms of LeBron being ranked 7th all time, let's just think about that for a second. Where do I have? Well, I used to have LeBron James ranked number 4. Excuse me. Number 4 all time. I used to have him behind Jordan, Kareem, Kobe. But then because of his antics, because of the foolishness, I moved him out of my top 5. I think I have him number 6 or number 7 or number 6, one of those numbers. Obviously, people are going to get pissed off. But everybody has their reason. Some people have him as the GOAT. I think, is it Jay Williams or Kendrick Perkins has him as the GOAT? Nick Wright has him as the GOAT. Shannon Sharp has him as the GOAT. Now, those people's credibility has come into question, and whether or not these guys are actually sincerely saying what they really believe or not, we'll leave that for another day. But everybody has their own opinion. I just think the issue is that someone with Charles Barkley's voice and his platform is saying something like that. And I think that's the reason why his comments are not going to go over well with a lot of these LeBron supporters and a lot of these people that like to plant narratives out there in the media. So I think that, look, hey, if he has the guts to say what he believes, let him have his opportunity. It's up for you to now debate him and say, you know, hey, Charles, I think you're wrong. But hey, these are just my thoughts. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what Charles had to say? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.